Welcome to Viben Now, a collection of guided meditations put into podcast form for your easy listening. My name is Vivian Gerard, and I will be walking with you through the intoxicating now moments of life here on this planet. These audios are intended to be used as a full meditation if you want to close your eyes, settle down into a comfy spot, and let your subconscious come all the way forward. Or it can simply be some background conversation where the nuggets of information that you most need will make their way into your awareness. Whichever way it works for you, I invite you to open up and enjoy fully this journey of life that we are all taking together. So much love to you. Good morning and welcome to Sunday. Welcome to Soul Shine. It is so good to be here, and also I have felt like I am swimming through fog this morning, so I have a feeling something super fun is going to unfold today. So let's begin. Let us begin. Go ahead and settle yourself into your chair, your bed, the floor, up by a tree, wherever you happen to be this morning. Yeah, go ahead and notice your body first. So feel any places in your body that don't want to be here, do want to be here, want to be saved, want to be helped, want to be loved. Whatever is coming up inside of your body, go ahead and just notice it. You paying attention to you. Let's start there. And as you're doing that, feel your breath, the rhythm of your breath. So if you're just climbing out of bed, you may be so relaxed if you had a good night's sleep. If you've already been running around this morning, your heart may be racing. Whatever it is, go ahead and make friends with your breath. Right? So don't fight it. Just see if you can surrender your body into an alignment with your breath that feels solid. It feels peaceful, right? You're not fighting anything in your system. You're just slowly allowing yourself to arrive here. And then see if you can gradually slow your breath down a little bit more. And you might feel some resistance in your body or like some tension or vibration in your body. That could be a couple of things. It could be you sort of fighting yourself to be here, or it could just be there's that much energy running through you this morning. Both are good. Neither one is right or wrong. So just notice if it feels like it's really already a lot moving for you this morning, just open your feet up. Send energy down and out through your feet into the earth. Get yourself a little ahead there, and then we'll slowly all start bringing this energy together as a group, as a community. All right, so let's go ahead and do some breathing together. So go ahead and do a few in-breaths. Let's do a big in-breath together. And then a long, slow exhale out with your mouth. Good. Do another in-breath. And a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Good. Feel the difference already. Yeah, go ahead and do another one as I'm talking. You'll notice when you do the slow exhale out through your mouth, it actually brings your energy down into your body as you do it. So your breath can call your energy home. It can call all the parts of you that are so busy, right? So engaged with life and activities and stuff that keeps us running and also pulls us out of our body. So go ahead and keep doing the in-breath for an out-breath for a few minutes, and I'll just talk as we bring our energy in. When you do that long, slow exhale, it's magnetizing through breath all of the places where you've been dropping pieces of yourself or your attention, your awareness. Right, so I notice for myself, I spend a lot of time in my home or around my home, and it's a magnet, right? I bring lots of other people's energy here, and so my children have lots of children over, my husband has people over, we have friends. Like, there's a lot of energy that moves through this house. And so for me, it's more my energy is with all of those people as they're kind of coming and going, right? It's like I have a little radar that just sort of checks on people, makes sure that those I love are solid and safe and happy and getting what they need. For you, your web may feel a lot wider than that, right? Your web may be across the country if you have relatives or friends that you're always sort of keeping your awareness on. If you have a job that requires you to travel or to be managing lots of people who travel, your web may feel really wide. So in this moment, using your breath, just call all of the places where you've been tracking people or watching people or supporting people, just for now, just for this next hour. Use your breath to pull all of your attention into you, just into you. Right? And so the in-breath is sucking in energy from life, from earth, from the air around us, right? And then the out-breath is bringing you back in and down into your body. Good, let's do one more together. So go ahead and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, long, slow exhale. Good. Good. And then just notice the difference in how you feel right now versus how you arrived or made your way to this gathering. And see how quickly you can bring your attention to where your energy is, to what your soul is doing, to how you're showing up in a space, and how easily you can just shift it by bringing attention to it. I share all of that so that there's an awareness as you go through your days, this week, next month. Right? There's just an awareness of how present am I? How present am I? How in my body do I feel in this moment? And is there a way to pull more of my attention into right now? Every day, every moment. Some days you'll do great, some days you'll suck. And it's just the learning, it's the play of being a human with the soul that guides us. Good work. All right, let's do some grounding. So I want you to feel the bottoms of your feet settle into the carpet or the floor, or wherever you are. If you're sitting cross-legged on the floor or laying in a bed, use your heels or your ankles. And go ahead and imagine you can just open the feet up. Open the feet up, and you can start to grow roots. So for some of you, a big, solid, huge tree trunk root immediately might feel like the way to go. For others, you might want some beautiful, tiny multitude of roots that are thin, but as they go into the ground, they get wider, and the nutrients of the soil thicken them and make them stronger. So you might have 100 little roots growing from your feet down into the earth, or 1,000,000, or one big solid one. All of it is right. Any of it is right. So go ahead and feel those roots starting to go into the earth, in the building, through the building that you're in, and down into the dirt underneath. Yeah, and you might immediately feel the vibration of that, right? To me, it's like a tingle or a prickliness, right? It's like I can feel when I connect into the earth, because there's a vibration that starts to come up into my feet and my legs. So imagine that those roots can go deeper down. Let's say they go 100 feet down below your house or your place where you are right now. Yeah, 100 feet's pretty far. If you imagine people stacked on top of each other, that would be 20 of me stacked up on top of each other, right? That's a lot. That's a big distance down. So feel the roots going that far into the earth. Yeah. And then feel them spreading wide. So now they want to go sideways. They want to go out 100 feet in all directions. Not just forward or backwards, but sideways, diagonal. Right? If you're having resistance in your body, it's okay. Just imagine you can send the resistance to your feet and just drop it out into the roots. And then bring your attention back to the roots. Good. Let's imagine the roots can go another 100 feet down into the dirt. And this time they're starting to play. Right? They're like, yes, yes, we remember how it feels to connect with the earth. Right? There was an agreement made by souls that were going to inhabit this planet called Earth, that we would partner. And then our human bodies get full of ego and we're like, we don't need the earth. We don't need to connect. We got this thing down. We know how to live. And we forget about the exchange that we agreed to. So let me give you a reminder perhaps. What it looks like to me is this flow of energy, right? So the earth said, come, bring your energy here into this planet. And then co-create together, right? So I'll provide water and soil and plants and food and sunlight and air and all of these things that will nourish human bodies. And then humans create and evolve and expand. And then the energies that they're not using, they send into the earth and recycle. And I use that energy to create more soil, more air, more sunlight, more water. It is a partnership. So in this moment, go ahead and feel your part of the partnership. Right? What if you can allow those roots from your feet to start pulling from your body the stuck places, the heavy energy that actually is the most powerful for the earth to recycle. Yeah, and it's always choice, right? It's always your choice. Do I hang on to those things inside of me and keep them, or do I hand them over to the earth and see what Mama Earth can do with it? There's no right or wrong. It's just an option. Yeah, so you can use your breath if you want to send energies down through your feet into the earth, to go through the roots way down to where they start to play. And then that just becomes energy that goes into the earth to get recycled. And then what if you imagine that those roots can go 500 feet deeper into the earth? And 500 feet wider. And right there you can notice there's a shift in the energy. Right? For me it's like a releasing. It's like suddenly I stop fighting or trying to control the exchange of energy. It's like a surrender to it. Right? When I go deeper into the earth, there's just it's like the partnership gets activated. Right? The roots that I'm sending down energetically connect with the earth, and there's a remembering that we have this thing we do where we exchange energy. Yeah, so go ahead and just feel in this moment anything in you that wants to be released in the earth. It can just move. It can go from your ears, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your belly, your knees, whatever stuck places you have. If you want, you can just try release them. Send the energy down into the earth. And then you just use your breath to settle your body. And you relax your body. And you just notice that something shifted. We think it's so hard. We think it's going to be so difficult, and it takes all this work. And it can just be an awareness and a surrendering. And something shifts and you're in a new space. Good. So for fun right now, let's play with receiving from the earth also. So you've done your part in, if you choose, right, in releasing something to the earth. So you send over this exchange of, it looks like toxic junk to me, right? I wouldn't want that for myself. I wouldn't want to receive that, but the earth is completely entranced and happy with it. So what if that energy gets recycled, it gets purified by the power of the earth that we inhabit? And then the bottoms of your feet can start to pull a little bit of the purified energy up. And again, it's choice, it's free will, right? If you want to receive, if you want to exchange, you can just feel from the bottoms of your feet that the energy can tickle at the bottom and then start to move through the soles of your feet, up into your ankles, up into your calves, and it can feel like a color or a texture. It could be like an oil or a lotion or a water, a gold color, purple color, brown color, right? There's no right or wrong. You just perhaps give form to the energy or give like a visual so you can see it coming into your body. As it comes up your legs into your knees, you can just start to feel your muscles relaxing, but in a way now that's filled up, right? And that energy can just run through into your hips. And then just like the roots dance when they're down in the ground, the energy from the earth when it hits your chakras at your roots, it can just start to dance through your chakras. Yeah, you might feel like you need to squirm a little or move. Totally okay. It's just energy pulsing through you. And it can just dance all the way through your body. And then come out the top of your head and just dance right back down again. Good. Good. This brings us right into the topic I wanted to explore today, which is exchange. Exchange, and how fun that we get to start right with the earth and exchanging energy in this way that is so beautiful. Yeah, we're actually going to go right into source. I think that is where we'll start. So go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or however you're sitting. And if there is anything else that you need to release in this moment, imagine you can just create that magnetic line or tube or pole in the center of your body. And so at any point for the rest of the call, as you feel things come up, you can just imagine they get magnetized to the center of your body. And then that magnet has gravity pulling at the bottoms of your feet. So anything that comes up energetically is just going to be magnetized to the center of you and then magnetized through gravity down to your feet and just out into the earth. So you can just become a conduit, a flow of energy through your body. And so stuck places can start to move. Things that come up can start to move. And you're just flowing energy through you. Okay, so keep your feet attached to the floor as we do all of this. All right, so I want you to imagine that you can give Source a visual, a form, a structure, a light, a color, some sort of energy that you can visualize right in front of you. So if you're sitting, you can imagine a chair in front of you with Source sitting down in front. Yeah, and give it a moment. This is why I felt so foggy in my own meditation.
the words that kept coming up were exchange and trust. And I'm like, okay, but I know about exchange and I do trust, and yet why can't I see or feel more clearly this morning? And I just kept getting this message or knowing, like, that's the whole point, is that you show up and you trust, just like you're expecting everyone else to show up and trust too. So this is what I did, right? I visualized myself sitting right in front of Source, just like I'm asking you to do. And I was asking, what does exchange look like with Source, with God, with the Creator, One, whatever name you want to give to that energy that creates everything, worlds, people, life. And I felt so humbled when I was sitting in my meditation, like, what do I have to give to Source, right? I get that Source gives us everything, which I as a human or a soul have to offer back in exchange. And so I'll share what I felt or received, and then I'd like us to actually have a few minutes of quiet time so you can feel for yourself what your own exchange looks like with Source. So for me, when I was asking that question, of course I saw first what Source gives me, and what I feel is unconditional love, unconditional support, constant idea creation and knowings and signs and signals and love. I mean, it's just this constant flowing river of connection that I feel. And the older I've gotten, the more I've stepped into my own work and my life's work, the clearer and wider and bigger the flow river seems to feel to me. And so when I was asking, what do I offer back, right? What goes back to Source when I'm receiving more all the time? And that was exactly what I felt as my answer. When I show up, when I consistently sit in my meditation and I tune in and I ask, right, and I question and I trust what comes through and I follow that, I am co-creating with Source, with God, with the world. I'm co-creating a new moment that has never existed before. I'm co-creating a new way to love that I've never known before, that's never existed before I showed up to create it. I'm opening to new ways of healing for myself, for other people, that can only come through me because the gifts I bring are so unique from my soul. No other soul is like mine. And so what I can offer the world through me, through Viv, is different than what anybody else could offer the world. And so I expand healing, I expand services, I expand meditation through what I show up bringing to the world. And so it's a dance, it's a co-creation between Source and I, right? I show up, and then Source shows up, and then Source shows up, and then I show up, and this new moment, this new now is created that could never have happened without me showing up and Source showing up. And so I'm an active participant in expanding my consciousness, the consciousness of those around me, the consciousness of the planet, because I'm showing up, I'm exchanging, I'm opening, I'm stretching, I'm growing. I'm constantly allowing space and encouraging myself to evolve, to grow, to be more. And as I do that, I am more, and then Source loves me more, and then I want to create more. I think you're getting the feeling of it, right? The shift, where it shifted for me the most dramatically, is when I started to trust, right? And I still am not perfect at it, not even close, but I trust more now than I ever have before. And I hope a year from now I'll trust more then than I even do now, and so on and so on. When you leap into trusting, and literally it feels like a leap, right? When you post this thing called Soul Shine that you're going to do, and everyone's like, what? I don't understand. What are you talking about? How would that even work? It's not going to work. And you just go, fuck it, man. I'm in. Like, this is mine. I'm leaping. I'm leaping because I see it. I see it in my eye. I feel it from Source. I know what it has the potential to create in the now moment, ever expanding now moment. And you leap. And I promise Source is right there, catching you, holding you, walking with you, stretching you, encouraging you, because you trust. You trust, and you trust more. And you sit in your meditation and you release, and you let the crazy mind move, and you ground it, and you send it into the earth, and you expand, and you trust some more, and it just becomes this absolutely gorgeous co-creation of you and Source doing your thing that you agreed to do. So, I'm so glad the fog moved and I could share that with you. Because earlier I didn't know if anything was going to come through. All right, so what I would love you to do is ground your feet in. Feel the earth, the partner, the exchange that you have of earth underneath your feet. Yep, and then let yourself lean against whatever support you have behind you. Relax your body. Yeah, and then you connect eye to eye with Source, with this energy of God that will show up in front of you every single time you ask. And I'm going to hold space for you, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, to just see what shows up, right? If nothing shows up, it's okay. Just release into the earth, relax your body, and keep opening your heart. If a lot shows up, great. Release into the earth, relax your body, open your heart. Right? And just trust. Whatever it is, just trust. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the space for you to commune with your Source. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring yourself back to here. Yeah, so open the bottoms of your feet. Anything that came up, or if you checked out for a few moments, totally okay. Any blocks that showed up, go ahead and just bring them to that tube or line in the center of your body. And then feel gravity tugging from the bottoms of your feet and pulling any stuck places, blocks, distrust, resistance, judgment, whatever might have come up. Go ahead and just run it all the way down to your feet, and then let the earth take that and recycle it into the depths of her soil. And then relax your body. Good. You all feel so peaceful right now. It's so calm and beautiful. I love it. I love it. Okay. Good. So I'd like to say a couple things about signs and trust first, and then we'll look at ways that we exchange. So it's interesting because many people will know that there was some sort of confirmation from God or the universe or energy, this co-creation, this dance that we're doing with life. We'll see these signs, and then our minds start going, no, that's not true, or we'll share it with someone and they're like, you're crazy. I don't even know why you would notice that thing happened, and then try to connect it to this energetic thing going on in your life. And so doubt becomes more commonplace than trust. And it's a subtle shift, but when you can start to click that over, it's unbelievable how many ways you will see and feel the confirmation of support every single day. Sometimes we know that it's God, right? We're like, oh, God just totally gave me that rainbow. I saw the rainbow. Nobody else saw the rainbow. I know that rainbow was for me, right? And so we believe that God is talking directly to us. But to me, it feels so much more depth-filled or expansive or wider than just God. I believe when humans transition, when souls transition, they still can connect even more easily, I believe, with humans than when they were humans here on Earth. And so they're constantly guiding and talking and sharing and encouraging us in so many ways. Some people see numbers, and those numbers confirm something to them. Like a time of death is actually 3 numbers in a row that are the same, so 555. And so every time you see 555, you believe or trust that it's someone you cared about who died at that time who's trying to speak with you or show you love. For me, music plays that way, right? If I'm trying to puzzle through something in my mind, I'll put music on, I'll just hit shuffle, and music speaks to me, it guides me. The words that come through have meaning, have support. And because I trust, I don't try to control it, right? I just hit shuffle and I trust exactly what's going to be needed will show up, and it always does. It always is there. It's a way to play with exchange is when you start believing, trusting those instant knowings that you get, right? Like it's almost like a shiver in your spine or a chill on your arm, or your hair stands on end, or suddenly you're like full attention alert where before you were maybe a little lethargic or sleepy. That is a vibration, a match in vibration between you and all of those energies that support you. And the more you trust each one of those as they show up, the more of them you're going to start to notice and to see. The more you're going to flow with your life, with the path that you chose to come here and experience versus resisting it. So I share that as just an encouragement. I had my daughter, this is so funny, she was interested in this boy, and I was just talking to her about, well, start looking for signs of evidence, that he likes you. And she would log them. She would talk to me about them. She's like, well, he looked at me. He smiled. He made a joke, and the joke was so stupid, but he kind of smiled like he was really proud of himself for making such a silly joke. And, there's a way she was looking for confirmation, and so more confirmation started to show up. Right, and I know that's just one example, but you can use that for anything, and it will just show you you're not alone. You're not making your way through life with difficulty and struggle. You're constantly held. You're constantly fully supported. It's just moving the veil enough that you can allow yourself to see and know and trust that it's real, that the support is tangible. Yeah. Okay, so exchange. We're sort of going all around the topic of exchange today, but it's such a big topic, and also it's just a topic like any other, right? But we place a lot of importance on it. Life is supporting me or life is screwing me over. Money is in my life or money isn't in my life. God has my back or God hates me. We have such big stories that we make about exchange. And what I most would love to have you walk away from this call exploring for yourself is you're the one that controls, if that's the right word. You're the one that holds the level of your exchange. Yeah, that feels better. You're the one that holds the level, the amount, the flow of your exchange. And so you can have a lot of abundance in some areas and none in others, and it's a way for you to go, this is then where I should be turning my attention, right? And seeing if I can expand the flow in those areas. And that's sort of the whole point of life, right? Is that we're constantly expanding this now moment. We're constantly expanding what our soul knows and trusts and feels and holds and creates. And so the more areas we play with expanding our exchange, the bigger, the bolder, the crazy, cooler our souls become. Because we all have that capacity for all of it, everything, to be ours. So I'll share a story because I do think those help perhaps explain how it looks to me, and maybe that's a bridge for how it could look for you or for others around you. So many of you might have heard this, but when I was younger, I had when I was 5, I had a birthday party, and my cousins brought me this doctor's kit. It was one of those little plastic kits that's got the stethoscope and, injection, all those things. And before I was a grown-up, I didn't know about things called, that's not true. I think when we're children, we believe in the veil being really thin. And so past lives, future lives, whatever dimensions time travels on, we can feel how integrated it actually is when we're children. And so things feel very real to us as children that now as grown-ups we're like, no, there's no way that could be real. So I believe as a child I knew that I had had lifetimes where I had been a nurse or a healer and didn't do it well, right? It didn't end well. I didn't, and there's judgment in there, but I didn't save the people, right? I didn't do the thing that I thought I was supposed to do. And so as a child, what I most wanted to do always was fix everybody, save everybody, help everybody, make everyone happy. I just wanted to smile and laugh and play and have the whole world be a happy place with no pain. And as a soul, I believe that's what our existence feels like. As a human, we come here to expand and explore the depths of joy and pain and anger and sadness and frustration and ease, right? We come here to explore the range of all of it. And so when I got the doctor's kit, I remember clearly thinking, I can fix anyone. I have the magic doctor's kit, that little thing that the doctors use that goes on your heart and you hear the heartbeat. I can just send love through that and I'll fix anyone, right? Like it was magic to me. And almost immediately when I put it up to my brother's heart, I found out, nope, it doesn't work that way, right? He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want his heart to be fixed. His heart was angry at whatever he was working through as a human with the soul. And I've looked at this so many times in my work, but for most of my lifetime, the belief that was formed in that moment of I can't fix, I can't save, I can't heal this person I love so deeply, when I realized that, the doubt became so strong, right? So if I can't fix with the stethoscope, what value am I? What value do I bring the world? How do I help people if I don't have these magical powers I thought I had? And so much of my life has spent exploring what does it mean to save? Can I save everyone? And the answer is no, right? No, I can't. And I've found that. I've explored how far I can push myself to try to save before I finally say it isn't serving and I pull back. What I could have chosen to do perhaps was go into medicine, become a doctor, try to cut people open to heal them. Right? And what I knew from a soul level is that doesn't work. I've done that before. In other lifetimes it doesn't work. So how do we heal in the way that most aligns with my soul? And that's what I've been exploring, right? And it brings me to here. It brings me to now where I see that we heal by connecting to Source, by sitting in our heart space, our tender places every day and connecting and opening and healing and sharing that with other people. And so my exchange with life, it's had easy places and hard places, but the commitment at a soul level that I know I've made is I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep giving to life and receiving from life over and over again, even when it doesn't feel easy. And what it has created is this abundance around me. Abundance of love, abundance of joy, growing abundance of money, abundance of ease, abundance of time. Yeah, so anything that came up in you as I was sharing all of that, go ahead and run it down to your feet. And then down through your feet into the earth. And I want you to come back into you. Yeah. I'm all of that, right? I'm that sweet little 5-year-old. I'm the woman from the past lives, the men from past lives. I'm me now in this moment, right? I'm all of that, and I'm so good. And you are all of your experiences, lives, creations, exchanges. And you are so good. So the invitation for us here is to play with how do we find the tweaks in the exchange? Where are the places you can open up a valve that might be a little tight, or massage an area that feels tender? Right? How are you exchanging? And then what are ways you can expand that? Because that's the point. So I had just a couple words I wrote down, joy, love, and money, just because I feel like they cover a lot of exchange areas. So let's play with joy for a moment, and I'm going to talk, and as I do that, I invite you to just feel yours. I'm good. Don't worry about me or anyone else on this call. Just feel your exchange and how you can tweak it. So when I say joy, how does joy feel in this moment in your body? Right? If you were to picture it bubbling up, does it bubble up from your feet and get all the way to your hips, or does it stop at your knees? Does it bubble all the way up to the top of your head and flow out the top? Right? So this gives you a range to start to see how much joy you're allowing yourself to exchange with in life. So let's see, where could you tweak something to allow a little bit more joy in? So one of the opposites of joy would be anger, right? So go ahead and scan your body. See if there are any immediate places that pop up where there's a whole pile of anger. It's funny, anger looks like that little red guy in Inside Out to me, right? He's like this little steam engine that's about to blow. So see if you can see any of those little steam engines sitting in certain parts of your body. And know that's your body's way of saying, here's where it's stuck, so explore this area. So let's say you feel it in your right shoulder. So shoulders, if you Google or if you look in the Louise Hay Heal Your Life book, shoulders would talk about the burden, carrying the burden of life, right? So your body's trying to say to you, you're feeling so burdened by life, there's not enough room for joy to come all the way up to here, right? So what are ways you can start to play with the exchange of life being a burden? Maybe you allow in more support. Maybe you ask your family, your partner, your friends to support you in a way that would feel different but so good. Right? You use your voice to activate the exchange in a different way. Perhaps your little red guy might be sitting in your stomach. Right? So digesting new ideas is what the stomach is all about. How do we trust that new idea that came through is ours, is yours, is exactly what you're supposed to be doing next in your life? How do you know? Because it showed up for you. Didn't show up for me. Didn't show up for somebody else. It showed up for you. So what if that idea is the thing you're supposed to be bringing to the now moment that expands consciousness, that is your gift back to Source? Right? So you pay attention to where the blocked places show up in your body as you're looking at this exchanging through joy. And your body starts to teach you and guide you. For many people, the block to joy is actually health, right? Their health is poor. They're limited by how much they can enjoy life because their bodies can't take them to all the places and experiences that they want. For example, my mom has a really sore knee, and so it prevents her, and foot, and it prevents her from walking, which she loves, exploring new cities and walking the malls and looking at shops, and she's limited in the amount of joy she can bring into her life because her physical body holds those limitations. Right, so for you, how do you expand your exchange with life in joy, allowing more joy? Yeah, and this is something to continue, throughout this week, throughout the next month. Like, there's so much here for all of us to explore. There's such depth to this information and these tools of how to play with them, right? So I encourage you to come back and see what else. The more that you find a block, the faster you move it, the more you exchange, the more fun things become. So let it be playful. Let's look at love for a moment. And you can just keep running any blocks down to your feet and sending them into the earth to be recycled. Yep. You don't even need to explore it with like titles and tags and this is what it means and now I have to do 5 steps. No, notice it, move it, Move it. Send it to the earth, release it, go on to the next block, move it. Right? You can just be a flow of energy instead of all these stuck places. All right, so love. Yeah, so tune into your heart space for a moment. What's your exchange with life look like when you think about love? I remember counselors telling us when our children were starting high school, as long as they have 2 or 3 good friends, they're going to be fine. Right? They don't need to be in the popular crowd or have 100 people that they're seeing all the time. They need to have a couple good friends they can really count on. If they have that, they will get through school fine. I feel like that is the ultimate way to describe love in this lifetime. You don't need hundreds of people. In fact, that's almost harder to navigate, harder to manage. But if you have a few good, trusted people by your side who see truth in you, who speak truth to you, who hold with Source the highest potential for you, you are going to be fine. So look at your exchange of love, right? Are you giving out as much as you're receiving back? Or the opposite, are you allowing yourself to receive as much as you give out? Yeah, that actually feels more true, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's just a way to play with your exchange. Can I love more? I can promise you, because I never believed it, but the more I love, the more love I have to love more. For real. Like it just multiplies. This is the dance with Source, right? The more Source loves me, you, each of us, the more love we can bring back to Source, the more Source can expand into even greater love. Yeah, so it's scary, and sometimes we get rejected, or someone can't love us back the way we love them. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, we just turn back to Source and we go, ouch, that one hurt. Can you fill me back up? Because you love me, right? You turn to your trusted friends and you fill yourself up with their love, and then you're back on solid ground again. All right, so open your feet up and just any matches, any blocks that came up, just send it down into the earth. And then I'm just going to touch on money. That is something that I think we could spend many, many calls on, but just in this idea of exchange right now, go ahead and see your exchange with money, right? Maybe this is your strongest area of exchange. Maybe it's your weakest. It's just an exchange like any other, right? So you can sit here in this space, you and Source, and you can just ask, right? Like, show me the ways I could start to shift my story about money. If I hold on to it tightly, show me how to loosen my grip. If I'm too loose with it and I don't value or honor what it brings me, show me how to put some boundaries around the container so that wealth can grow, and then I have more options and choices of what to do in my life, of how to bring more joy in, of how to expand the love. Yeah, feel your feet on the floor, ground yourself in. It's so funny, money is an energy that just takes people out of their space so quickly. So feel your feet on the floor. Use your breath, anything that comes up, to send it down and through to your feet and into the earth. Money is an energy. That's all it is. Whether you have a lot of it or none of it, it's an energy. And so it's a place for you to play in your meditation time with exchange, with trust, right? With expansion, with releasing. Good. I feel like you have months worth of stuff you can look at here, because there's such There's such depth to all of it. So for now, let's go ahead and release anything that came up in this call all the way down to your feet. You can even stomp your feet or shake them for a second and just release into Mama Earth, like, whew. And it was foggy for my meditation, and it brought that shit. There's a lot to look at. So go ahead and just send it down, out into the earth, all the way down. Scan your body, any stuck places, magnet down. There you go. Good, all the way into the earth. All right, now feel the earth purifying anything you sent over. She's like, yes, yes, thank you, right? She purifies it, and then she sends back to your feet new energy, purified, recycled, supportive energy that aligns with Source in you. And then feel your feet just starting to pull that energy all the way up into your feet, your legs, your knees. Give it a color, a texture, a vibrancy, all the way up through your thighs into your hips. And then let that energy dance through every chakra, every cell, every organ, moving all the way up through your body, down your arms, out your hands, and then all the way back up through your body to your neck, up through your head, through all of the top chakras, and then just whale spouting out the top of your head and coming down and around the outside of your body like a gentle waterfall, soothing any stuck, sore, open places, all the way down to your feet, and then back into the earth. And there's just more flowing in through your feet, all the way up through your body, and then down and out around the outside. All right, I'm going to let you hang here for a moment. I encourage you to sit for another minute or two and just run the energy and clear out anything that came up while we were talking, and fill yourself back up. Fill yourself back up with Source. So beautiful. So beautiful. So much love from me to each of you today. Have an amazing day.